Welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive into something pretty unsettling. We're looking at a small, secretive community known as Dorvale.
That's right. And it's all about this town's central tradition, this ritual that underpins their entire way of life.
Yeah.
It's strange.
And it revolves around an object they call the box. The idea is, on your 18th birthday, you're given this box, and inside is your lifelong, inescapable role.
Yeah, and we're talking about a society built on this. Everything looks perfect on the surface, manicured lawns, strict curfews. But it all hinges on this one moment.
It's this hand-carved box that shows up at sunrise, and inside is just a single word. It could be caretaker or stone layer.
Yeah.
And the town's core belief is that this selection is infallible.
Totally infallible, so there's no arguing with it. But there's this one role, this kind of urban legend in the town that everyone jokes about.
Shepherd.
Shepherd. The weird thing is, the job is to go to the clearing. But there's no clearing in Dorvale. There are no sheep. It just doesn't make any sense.
It's the ghost story, the thing you use to scare kids. And that sets up this central fear, this real tension. What happens if the infallible box makes a mistake?
Or what if it's not a mistake at all? What if it's a role the town just tried very, very hard to forget?
Okay, so let's dive into the moment it happens for our protagonist. It's their 18th birthday. The parents are described as being just painfully cheerful.
Oh, completely. It's a performance, right? They're trying to mask this huge anxiety. And then at midnight, there's this sound, a soft thud on the front porch.
The sound of destiny arriving. And the protagonist goes out, finds this polished wooden box. You get the sense it's ancient, handled by generations.
And he opens it, probably expecting something normal, something practical. And there it is. One word.
Shepherd.
The joke just became his reality.
And this is where things change, because instead of just accepting it, he decides to break one of the town's biggest unspoken rules.
He goes looking for the edges of the town, the parts people just don't go to.
Right. And after hours of pushing through these overgrown, neglected areas, he finds it. He breaks through a thicket of berry bushes, and there it is, the clearing.
But it's not some beautiful meadow. It's a horror show. The ground is just littered with animal bones, all arranged in these tangled spiral patterns.
Just as he's taking this in, he appears, the old shepherd.
And the description of him is just chilling. His skin is dry and colorless. His eyes are yellowed. He looks like he's been drained.
His first words are, "You weren't supposed to be chosen, not yet."
Which tells you two things right away. One, there's a timeline. This is a succession. And two, the box got the timing wrong. The infallible system just showed a crack.
The old shepherd leads him to this collapsed shack nearby. It smells like copper and wet ash.
The shepherd's office,
Yeah.
basically. And hidden inside is a journal. And this isn't just a diary, it's an archive. It's full of maps, strange symbols, dates going back generations.
And scrawled inside, over and over again in these angry, desperate strokes, is the core mission.
Maintain the boundary.
Which raises the big question, right? What is this boundary? And what happens to Dorvale if it fails?
And the answer to that is what they call the sheep.
The first encounter is so simple, so terrifying. He wakes up in the middle of the night to a sound like someone dragging dry leaves across the ground.
He looks out the window.
And there's a figure standing there, pale, upright, and it has this huge, fixed grin on its face, just watching.
He goes back to the old shepherd, who isn't surprised at all. He just confirms it. And then he brings out the tools.
Yeah, these are not farming tools. They're rusted, ancient-looking things. A long iron stake carved with symbols is the main one. This is for a ritual.
And they go out to confront it. They find it at the edge of the woods. It looks human-shaped, but wrong. Its knees bend the wrong way, and its eyes.
All pupil, no whites at all.
And then it speaks. And this is the truly cruel part. It speaks in the voice of the protagonist's childhood best friend who died years ago.
Hey, want to play?
I mean, can you imagine? But the old shepherd doesn't hesitate. He drives the stake right into the creature's chest.
But its reaction is so contradictory. It screams in the friend's voice, "I don't want to go home yet." But at the same time, its hands grab the old shepherd's and pull the stake deeper.
It's welcoming it. The husk, the entity, whatever it is, seems to have this deep compulsion to complete the ritual, even as it mimics begging for its life. It's a 2-minute struggle, just agonizing.
And after the old shepherd finally explains, he says the veil between worlds, or whatever you want to call it, is thin in Dorvale.
The dead don't move on properly, they slip back.
So the shepherd isn't hurting livestock, they're shepherding the dead, forcing them to go where they're supposed to be.
And that's why they recognize you. They greet you. They're clinging to their old memories, and you have to.
Yeah.
But you have to excise them.
The ritual ends with burning the husk.
Right.
And the smoke, it doesn't smell like a normal fire. It's described as smelling like copper and roses. It rises in this thin, straight pillar into the sky and then just vanishes.
The job is done. The boundary is secure. For now.
After an experience like that, you can't blame him for what he does next. He tries to run.
He decides he's done. He hitches a ride out of town, watches the county line get closer and closer. He feels this moment of hope, of actual freedom.
And then just 10 minutes past the line, the driver of the truck just starts choking. The truck veers off the road, crashes violently into a ditch.
The system corrects itself.
He wakes up not in some regional hospital miles away, but right back in the town clinic in Dorvale.
And that's where the nurse leans in and whispers this to him. She says, "You don't get to leave. You've already been written in."
It's not just a social contract. It feels metaphysical, like the town itself won't let him go.
So he's trapped. And when he gets back, things have escalated. The old shepherd shows up at his door, but he's beaten up, he's limping, bleeding.
And he's terrified, genuinely terrified. He says they've never done that before.
The creatures, the sheep, are fighting back now.
Yeah.
They rejected the old warden.
Mm.
It seems the transfer of power isn't just a formality, it's required.
The old shepherd hands over the rest of the tools, a scorched wooden staff, a sealed satchel, and gives him instructions. Don't speak first, don't run, and don't ever lie to it.
It's a protocol. These things can be manipulated, but they can also manipulate you.
So he has to go out for his first solo mission. He follows these markings on the trees, these jagged spirals, deeper into the woods than before.
And in a hollow, he finds the next one. It's the husk of Mr. Martin, the old man who used to run the market stall.
And he's just reenacting his old routine, slapping a stone like it's his counter, beaming and saying, "Last 2 bowls of pears, last 2 bowls."
This is the real test. It's one thing to see the husk of a long-lost friend, but another to face this kind, familiar old man who you saw just last week.
And he freezes. He looks at this smiling, welcoming face, holds the stake, and just says, "I can't do it."
But then, that strained compliance kicks in again. Before he can back away, the husk of Mr. Martin moves. Still smiling, still murmuring about his pears, it walks forward.
It grabs his hands, the ones holding the stake, and it forces them forward, driving the point into its own chest.
It completes the ritual for him. He's just the instrument, so he has to follow through. He takes the tinder from the satchel the old shepherd gave him, and he burns the body.
And that thin pillar of smoke, smelling of copper and roses, rises into the sky again. The job is done.
But something is broken in him now. As he walks back to town, he starts seeing them everywhere.
Not just in the woods. He sees these tall, narrow figures on rooftops, in the shadows between buildings, in the gaps. He says it's like impressions burned into my vision.
The true scale of the problem is revealed. This isn't about 1 or 2 stragglers in the woods. The town is infested. The boundary is porous.
He runs to the old shepherd's house, desperate for answers, for help, and he finds him.
He's sitting in his armchair. He looks peaceful. But he's gone.
But he left the answers behind. On the table are dozens of journals, a complete record of the shepherds of Dorvale, generations of them.
It's all there. The maps, the rituals, the names of the dead they had to shepherd. And the protagonist realizes the old shepherd saw the figures everywhere too. He lived with this every single day.
And that's when he finally understands why the old man tried to keep him away at first, why he said not yet. He wasn't being cruel.
No, he was trying to protect him, trying to spare him this life, this monumental, thankless, terrifying job for as long as he possibly could.
But the box chose. The system prevailed. And now he knows he is the only thing standing between the quiet, orderly life of Dorvale and whatever is trying to slip back through. He is the new shepherd.
He accepts it. He has no choice. He's living a life of absolute solitude, surrounded by the dead, all because of a decision made for him by a mysterious, infallible box.
So the big takeaway here seems to be that the entire peaceful existence of Dorvale is bought and paid for by one person's sacrifice. A generational sacrifice of everything that makes a life, well, human.
Right. And that brings us to the final thought, something for you to consider. The protagonist is now seeing these figures everywhere, which suggests the numbers are surging. And the sheep attacked and rejected the last shepherd. So what does that escalation really mean?
Is the next shepherd facing a challenge that's simply insurmountable?
Exactly. Is the boundary already failing? And if so, how long until Dorvale finally has to suffer the consequences?